Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be back on here again for a Third Eye High live health series. We're super excited to get started today. I know that this is our third one that we've done, and we cannot wait to keep up. This is going to be so amazing. We're looking forward to doing this constantly just because we really do feel it has been an incredible way to connect with awesome, like-minded women and those out there who just know so much about health and wellness and beauty and fitness and lifestyle. And that's just kind of all in line with what we are looking to do here at Third Eye High. So today I have the pleasure of kind of chatting with Ashlee Rowlan, who will be talking with us about metabolic health, fertility, and hormones. And I can't wait to add her to this Instagram Live so you all can get a chance to talk to her. So in any event, we love these lives because it really does give us a chance to connect with all of you and kind of get to hear a little bit about what's on your hearts, on your minds, and ask any questions that you may have, because we know that so much about the industry is just what we don't even know. So we really leave this open as a discussion and a forum to leave it as a place for you all to kind of chime in with questions, get to learn a little bit more about us, our brand, and of course, Ashlee and her brand as well. So without further ado, let's bring Ashlee in and go live with her for the rest of this series, and it's going to be awesome. There we go. Ashlee, it's such a pleasure to meet you finally over Instagram Live. This is so exciting. So super casual conversation, and I'm just kind of looking forward to get to know you a little bit about what you do and all the things that you are involved with. I kind of gave our viewers a little preview as to who you are and what you do and kind of what this chat will be about, but I'm really going to kind of leave it to you to tell us all the things that you're passionate about and all that you know, just because we know that there is so much that our followers are interested in learning about. Okay, cool. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started and just kind of chat a little bit. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do and all that you work on with metabolic health and hormones and fertility, because I know that we've had so many people be interested in kind of chatting with you and learning a little bit more from you.
Perfect. Yes. So I'm Ashlee. Everyone calls me Simplistic because that's what my one-on-one with women and in group settings, just to teach women the importance of fertility, hormone health, hormone balance, even if they're not trying to get pregnant. So a lot of women will say, hey, is your course or is this or is your post for me? I don't want to be pregnant. And I'm like, yes, because your hormones are important even if you don't want to be pregnant. Just to preface the conversation with that. But I just teach women basically to quiet the noise of the wellness world. Be confusing. There's a lot of chaos in it. Eat this, take this supplement, do this, but really no one's focusing on the simple basics of getting outside, getting sunlight, getting your bare feet on the ground, and just eating a nutrient diet. People are like, that's too simple, but it really is simple, because I literally tried everything for the last 8 years. And this is the only thing that has worked for me, was getting back to the roots, getting back to simplicity. The DEM, the Vitex, the Chastetree, B12, all of the things, paleo, keto, low carb, juicing, none of that worked. Obviously there's reprieves and all of those things, but I just found that that's kind of all noise and it's kind of all extra. And when you're not focusing on the basic foundations, then all of that's, it's not really going to work. So that's kind of the premise of what I teach and work with. And you'll see a lot of non-native EMF exposure reduction on my page and being outside. And it's really simple, free tools, because wellness also doesn't have to be so expensive.
Totally. The industry right now has changed and shifted so much, where all these diets and trends and all those programs, you're right, they are so costly. In order to achieve your health and wellness goals right now, it really has come off where it is a very large financial burden as well.
Yeah, I've been teaching this a lot lately. You can try to push and shove and try to do all these things to detox your liver or whatever else people are trying to detox. But if you don't have the basic foundations, which are minerals and even simple macronutrients, your body's not going to detox, no matter how many weird things you put into it.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I've been meaning to ask you, where'd you get your passion for all that you're doing and all that you're teaching? What kind of sparked your interest?
I was just sick. you know, like most people, I was really sick. I was a really sick teenager. And when you're a teenager, you're not supposed to be sick. I mean, no one's supposed to be sick, but especially when you're a teenager. So I was 14 years old and diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is like what? All sorts of other autoimmune conditions, thyroid conditions, PCOS, all sorts, bone spurs, Osgood-Schlatter's, like all these things that what is actually going on. Also I did have a vaccine injury, and I'm not going to talk about that here right now, but you know, there was just a long list of things that was happening to me. I wasn't feeling well. I couldn't really walk. I was always in pain, puffy, inflamed, skin was horrible, couldn't sleep, back pain, you know, things that shouldn't be happening to a teenager.
Totally.
So I kind of went on this journey, as most people do, and it took me 8 years to finally get to where now, like, I have a 6-month-old, and my husband's like, dang, like, you look better than you have our entire marriage. We've been married for 5 years, and he's like,
wow,
you look better now, 6 months after having a baby and not sleeping at night, than you did before. And it's because I am actually nourishing my body now. And it took that 8 years, you know, to get through all the fad diets and all the things you think are right.
Of course.
And now I'm here and I feel awesome. And I see things like the big thing that really pushed me was the fact that we couldn't get pregnant. We were infertile for 4 years. And that's while I was doing everything right. And I had like million supplements, and you know, I was doing all this stuff that wasn't working and couldn't get my progesterone up. I couldn't detox. You know, all the things that everyone's Google searching. And then I just kind of stepped back and said, okay, something is wrong. Something is, you know, not going the way it should be. And what really clicked that was the fact that I was spending 8+ hours a day out in the sun, and my vitamin D, the active form of my vitamin D just was not raising. So I was like, something at a mineral level is really wrong in my body. I didn't know it was a mineral thing then. Yeah. So I went on the hunt and then I found it and just started learning about minerals and vitamin A, like real vitamin A, not synthetic vitamin A, and just kind of learning, wow, I've been overcomplicating this the entire time. And so that's kind of what I teach women now.
That's so cool. That's an awesome story. I mean, it's terrible to begin with, but it is exactly what a successful journey story would look like. And that's awesome. And that's exactly why we are so excited about this live series, because there's so much going out there, and women like you out there that just have all these incredible stories that we would have never even heard of. And there's so much knowledge that you have because of it. And so with that actually just sparked a question that I just actually don't even know the difference between. So you mentioned natural vitamin A, synthetic vitamin A, and could you kind of explain that to me a little bit? I have no idea really the difference between those two, how you source those two, how you even track how much of each one is kind of in your body, and how you were made aware of that, because I think that's super important. Obviously something that a lot of people don't even know about.
A lot of times you'll get pushback with vitamin A, especially during pregnancy, because people will say like, it's toxic or whatever. But the thing is if you were to I don't know that you could eat enough real version of vitamin A to be concerned about that. So you have synthetic vitamin A, which is from a supplement or a cream or, you know, whatever. And then you have real animal-based vitamin A. You can't get it. It comes from egg yolks. It comes from liver. It comes from raw cream, eggs. And then some research I'm studying, like cod liver oil, basically, but I'm not pushing cod liver oil to everyone. It's a very specific type, and you want to make sure it's not fermented. You want to make sure that it's not adulterated. And then there's one that has like a higher fat content versus a PUFA fat content. So you want to just try to avoid all those polyunsaturated fatty acid rich foods. But that's the difference, is you have the stuff from animal fat essentially, and then you have synthetic. Anything synthetic is usually, I mean, probably always not good. So yeah, if you're looking for animal-based retinol, that is essential for all health. So a lot of vegans that come to me, we run their tests and they're just completely devoid of any retinol. And then they're having copper issues, and you need retinol to activate copper, and you need retinol to bind iron and get it out of the body. And you need retinol to activate magnesium and vitamin D and all of these things. So it's like the most underrated vitamin, you know, so it's just crazy. And it's, the raw cream, the egg yolks, the liver, so like beef liver, cod liver oil, and just getting it from those animal fats essentially. So a lot of people will try to get retinol, and they'll be like, oh, fat, so they'll eat avocado and olive oil.
Of course.
It's not in those foods, so it's in animal foods.
Well, that's so good to know. I didn't even know that, but thank you for sharing. In terms of fertility, like what are some interesting things that you learned throughout your journey that you could kind of share with the people who are tuning in today, and even those who will look back in this and watch this later? Because I know fertility is such a hot topic, and there's so many things that go along with it. I know so many women who have suffered from fertility issues, and all the beauties that come from IVF and everything else that happens like that for those who suffer with it. But have you learned anything along the way that can kind of help with fertility/infertility and kind of making that pregnancy process a little bit easier for women?
In that 4 years of infertility, I had a lot of supplements pushed on me. I had a lot of invasive therapies. I have a podcast on this. I don't have my own podcast, but I was on a podcast about, just invasive therapies that are counterintuitive to the body. I had those pushed on me. I had all sorts of things pushed on me, but I always had this intuition that my body should be able to do this itself. And so I never did progesterone cream. I never did any natural progesterone from yam or anything like that. I wanted my body to do what it needed to do, because if I was going to push my body into getting pregnant, then I knew that wouldn't be good, because then I knew my body would have a hard time staying pregnant. And then I knew that may cause complications in pregnancy. Just one takeaway before I kind of dive into this is for all women here, and even if men are here, like advocating for sisters, moms, whatever, if your body's not getting pregnant, it doesn't feel safe enough to nourish and create a human being. So it may not even have enough of the basic blocks, minerals, vitamins to support yourself. So it's not going to have enough to build a new life. So try not to push, and instead support, and it will happen itself. So it took 4 years, and I'm very thankful for those 4 years, because those were 4 very intentional years of building up my mineral reserves, building up copper, building up vitamin A, being out in the sun. You need to have those basic pillars to get pregnant. And if you push yourself to get pregnant, or if you take a drug that is forcing you to ovulate or forcing X, Y, and Z,
for sure,
you have to ask, okay, instead of taking this drug, why isn't my body ovulating? Or why do I not have enough progesterone? The thing that goes round and round and round is that if you don't ovulate, you don't make progesterone. If you don't have progesterone, you don't ovulate. So it's this cycle that women get stuck in, and then they think, okay, I either have to take a drug or I have to take a cream. But if you focus on minerals and you focus on thyroid and adrenal health, your body, once it feels safe, will start to ovulate again, and you can build up those mineral reserves. I had a client that came to me. They've been infertile for 10 years. We worked together for about 8 months, and she got pregnant.
Wow.
Would I have, obviously, praise the Lord, she got pregnant. Would I want her to get pregnant that early? No, because I wanted her to build up as much progesterone as possible. But she did. And she didn't do any cream. She didn't do any, and she hadn't ovulated for 10 years. She literally thought
crazy.
Her body was broken. That's the recurring thing. I'm broken. I can't heal. This is my diagnosis on my forehead, infertile. And I'm like, no. We can support your body with minerals, balancing electrolytes, getting your adrenals supported. And you don't, people talk about adrenal burnout, and it's because people want to put a label on everything.
Totally.
I have my thyroid's imbalanced, adrenal burnout, infertility. The thing that is happening is that your body's under oxidative stress. It's in fight or flight mode.
Exactly.
So it's, anything. That's what all disease is it's just a body that is inflamed and under serious oxidative stress, which comes in many different levels, going all the way from basic inflammation all the way to cancer. So if we focus on, okay, how can we reduce our oxidative stress load, which is basically rust in the body? How can we reduce this? How can we make sure that the minerals we take are supporting us, and the sun that we're getting is actually being activated because we have enough magnesium and we have enough copper? And it's really just stepping back, which is really hard to do because there's so much noise. One of the lessons in my course is I have people go through their email inbox and their Instagram and just do a mass unfollow. Give them the analogy of, so right now, me and you are talking. We're one person talking to another person, and that's amazing. But as we scroll through our feed and we're following 1,000 people or 2,000 people, we've now heard 2,000 different people in one day. And how confusing is that, even if it's a subconscious thing? With fertility, just that's a big part of it, is de-stressing from all of that noise, because it's all the shiny, glittery things. So now you're focusing on, the retinol that is from a whole form, vitamin A. But then some other person talks about, no, don't do that. And then this person talked, and then you're like, what do I
Totally.
do?
That's what I was going to say when you were talking is that's got to be so hard for these women that are coming to you because of all the diets and fads and trends and things that are always going on and with social media involved is that no matter what you're doing, you always feel like you're not doing it fully right, or there's another alternative that would be better, or just because of all the excess outside noise. And so I really actually love, out of all the things you just said, the most is just that like little cleanse that you have women do, because they really, so much of what happens in like a human body, let alone a woman's body, is based off of just stress and outside pressure and all that really just sets your body into motion to not necessarily perform how it's supposed to. And so I think that is actually incredible. So that's a really cool component of your program.
Yeah, so everyone take that. I just literally have them like in the course, I'm like, stop what you're doing, like literally right now, don't watch any more of this video, set a timer for 5 to 15 minutes, go through your email inbox, go through any social media, and just don't unfollow people who are challenging you, but unfollow anyone who is just creating noise, or you see their post and you're like, that just, like, it's good to question things and it's good to be challenged.
Totally.
But really, like, why am I following this person? We follow people for giveaways and whatever, and there's so much noise.
Well, so in your program, do you push like supplements, or do you not even? Is it more holistic than even supplements?
So there are some very specific supplements that I do recommend that are supportive, but like I don't go down the rabbit hole of like, take DIM to lower estrogen, or take, chastery berry or Endo-3 carbinol. Like, I just don't do all that. It's simple things like magnesium bicarbonate, which is like, everyone needs magnesium bicarbonate. But I teach them how to take the magnesium bicarbonate, because if you introduce too much magnesium at once and you don't have enough sodium and potassium, you're going to get heart palpitations and you're going to get all these weird symptoms. And so it's a big focus on electrolytes and then whole food things. So I recommend liver, but before a liver supplement, I recommend that you get liver, chop it up and swallow it with orange juice. And people are like, what? That's disgusting.
That is disgusting, but I'm sure it works, but it sounds disgusting.
Yeah. And people are like, wow, like, but I don't recommend a vitamin A. I recommend that you just eat raw cream and egg yolks. And so I'm trying to think of the supplement. Like, I have a whole supplement section in the course, and I think it's different than what people thought. It's more about like sourcing, what to look for on lab reports, making sure that how to find a good quality supplement, how to get rid of your supplement graveyard, I call it. I have a reel coming out soon about that. And then focusing on that small handful of supplements that are mostly from food. Instead of supplementing potassium, we're eating potatoes, which are like, no, don't eat potatoes. We're eating orange juice, which is like, that's just sugar. We're getting like coconut water and bone broth and broth with cooked greens in it to get all that potassium, because we're just taking all these supplements that are just making our urine very expensive, because they're just nothing's happening. Our body's not even assimilating any of the nutrients.
It's actually, once you were bringing that up, it's actually crazy, because so I have a tachycardia, so an irregular heartbeat, and my heart rate and heartbeat and rhythm comes from just like a little bit of level imbalances. So I've always been relatively deficient in potassium, and relatively always been deficient in iron and things like that. And I get my labs run frequently with my cardiologist, but it's like that weird blend where they tell me to eat a ton of potassium. So potatoes and bananas and all of that, especially when I'm experiencing symptoms. But then on the other hand, when you're like, oh, I need to go on a diet and lose a couple pounds, you see all these things like keto, which are out there, and they tell you whatever you do not put a potato in your mouth, do not put a banana in your mouth, do not any of that. So it counteracts, you're getting pulled in different directions that are like, on one hand, it's going to help you a ton with this part of your body. But on the other hand, if you want your body to operate a certain way, whatever you do, don't put that in your mouth. So I think that there is definitely, even me personally, that I've experienced, there's definitely that imbalance that's like not necessarily telling you, oh, if you eat this, it's okay to eat it in moderation, because it actually does benefit a significant other part of your body that you need this for. And so I think that that's a really awesome part of your program, because those foods, like scare people because they're like unhealthy, but they're like not unhealthy because they do things for your body that your body needs to do.
Like, just the purpose is to eat for nourishment. And when you
Yeah.
eat for nourishment, it's not like a yes and no to junk food. It's just that there's no room for junk food. And then when you feel how you feel when you are eating a nourishing diet and living a nourishing lifestyle, like, you no longer want those things. So people be like, what's the worst thing you ate during pregnancy? And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. I ate organic sprouted cereal with raw milk. Like, is that the worst? Like, I don't want to eat,
Totally.
bad
Yeah.
things. And it's not because I can't, it's because I don't want to. And people are just shocked. Like, well, don't you have cravings? And I'm like, for real food, like, we make our own ice cream and I eat a lot of that.
I mean, that totally makes sense. It's all how you train your body. And then especially, you also have such a different perspective of things once you were given a bit of a challenge in order to get to where you are now. Like, if you were able to get pregnant like that and everything was smooth sailing, you wouldn't really have that like unique outlook, and kind of given you a different perspective and a different way to look at the pregnancy journey and what it takes to actually nourish your body during that, and also nourish the baby during that. And so I think that that is really awesome. And I definitely think it's something that a lot of women don't even know about, because you're right. All we do here when pregnancy talk happens is you hope to get pregnant, you get pregnant, you have cravings, you gain the baby weight, you eat all the food you don't eat for one, you eat for two, and then you have the baby, and then it's like, oh, what do I do now with all the baby weight? Now that the baby's gone, I want my body to return to normal. And I feel like if you kind of follow that more, I don't want to say like holistic per se, but that path that definitely keeps your body eating the natural, organic, healthy foods for you throughout the entire duration, from pre-pregnancy, like during the fertility process, all the way through the delivery of the baby, it will make your body naturally bounce back better after the pregnancy, nourish the baby to the fullest potential, and make your body kind of return to how you want it to quickly.
Like, people will ask, like, aren't you worried that you didn't gain a lot of weight during pregnancy? Because, like, you're supposed to gain whatever, like 20 pounds. I don't know. I didn't gain a lot of weight, but I wasn't skinny. I was eating so much. I eat so much right now. I eat like 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. I can't eat enough, but like, I look great. And I have a uterus in my body, and so I don't have a flat stomach, and that's normal. And I don't want to have a flat stomach. Like, I didn't get any stretch marks my entire pregnancy, because from the inside out, I have a body that's filled with vitamin E, and I made vitamin E cream. And it's just like, when it's so counter-cultural, and moms almost get shamed for this. But I would share with my community, like, I expect to have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy labor and a healthy postpartum experience, because I live a healthy life. Like, if you don't live the standard American lifestyle, then why do you expect to have the same outcome of all these women having? So I just want to shout out to like moms here that are, maybe feeling bad or timid, like, oh, I don't want to share that I had an awesome experience. It's like, because you nourished your body, and you deserve that, because you put in the work. Of course. So why would you have all these experiences that someone who isn't doing that is having?
Of course. No, totally. Pregnancy is definitely one of those things that, like, even as non-taboo as it is, there are so many aspects of it that are. And I've kind of learned that as I've gotten older, like what your body looks like afterwards, and the transformation, and how much weight you gain during the actual course of the pregnancy. Like, all of that is natural, and it occurs, and it's just kind of a matter of how you tend to it and take care of it. And as long as you are doing the best you can to make sure your body and your baby are healthy, like, that's the most you can do. But I definitely do think, like, to your point, a really healthy pregnancy is nothing to be ashamed of. Rather, it should be something that should be talked about, because it's definitely an encouragement to women, because we need to see like more women encouraging and like flaunting, for lack of a better word, a healthy pregnancy experience, because it, especially given what we were talking about earlier with the impact of social media, that can go such a long way when people actively talk about like the really big success stories like that, because there's a reason influencers are who they are, and people listen to people on social media. That's just what happens. And so sharing that is awesome.
And it's, like I said, it's never to make anyone feel inadequate or like they didn't do enough, because we do what we can with what we have. Like, that's just
Exactly.
the way it is. Like, I'll have women come to me that are like, I've completely sabotaged my body. I'm not worthy of all. And I'm like, you've done what you could with what you had, and that's completely fine.
Well, I don't want to keep you being a brand new mom that you are with your adorable little baby. I'm really glad that we were able to kind of catch up and pop on and share everything. And I obviously loved getting to learn from you because I learned so much during the course of this 30 minutes. It was crazy. But if there is anything else that you want to share before we click off, because I don't want to keep you, you're a brand new adorable mom and you need to be with that sweet baby of yours. If there is anything else you want to share, feel free. But otherwise, it was such a pleasure to meet you.
I am going to share. I'm just going to bring him over here and nurse really quick. So if you want to just keep talking for a second, and I'll get him nursing, and then I'll share.
All good. No, don't worry about it. For anybody who is watching right now, and I know that this is like a brief moment, like a little intermission, if you will, but this is the actual true nature of being a mom, which is incredible to get to see live and in person. If any of you who are watching right now do have any questions or anything that you are wondering from Ashlee, we would love to kind of learn from you all and kind of get the conversation going in a direction that you all want to see as well. I know that we are so excited about the continuation of this live series, and also, if anybody who is watching has any interest in participating in the live series or has any recommendations of people who they think would be awesome to participate just in the women's health and wellness and lifestyle space, we would love to collaborate because there are so many incredible women like Ashlee out there who just know so much about all there is to know in the health and wellness and beauty and lifestyle space for women. And this live really is, or the live series as a whole really is a space to kind of bring women together and showcase the community of strong, incredible women. And that's kind of what Third Eye High is all about. So with Third Eye High, it really is a subscription box company that really does sell beauty, lifestyle, cosmetic, fitness products. But it's more than that. Like, we are a subscription and we are so excited to be able to get our products in your hands and get you all to see our things. But really, this women and community of women that Third Eye is trying to create is just to collaborate with these like-minded people. We're really excited about it, and we can't wait to kind of share our brand and our story and our mission with you all through these live series and kind of get some feedback from everybody and get to learn a little bit more about the women we're collaborating with. And we just got a question, actually, from a nutritional therapist, which is super exciting. Ashlee, this is for you whenever you're ready. What courses or programs do you recommend to learn more about practitioners, to learn more about hormone health for practitioners?
This is actually something I want to create in the future, is just like a course on teaching people like what I'm doing. But I went to Bauman College where I learned the basics. Since then, I'm a member of the NANP, which is the National Association of Nutrition Professionals, and they're great. I've learned some there. And then, like, just read an article a day on just information so you can make your own, words are like a thing after your mom, your own decisions. He waited too.
Yes, do not worry about it. You DM her and you get situated over there because I don't want to keep you. But it was a pleasure getting to chat, and I'm so excited that we were able to talk this afternoon. Thank you so much, Ashlee. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for tuning in. We're so excited. And once again, be sure to check out Third Eye High and, of course, Ashlee's account as well. And we will drop that in the comments when we share this to our socials later so you all can check her out. Yeah, if you're ever interested in some wonderful lifestyle, luxury women's products, definitely head over to Third Eye High's website, see what we have. And if you ever have any products that you're interested in seeing in the boxes or interested in us featuring, give us a quick DM, leave a comment, visit the website, and contact us through there. We're always willing to learn what you all are looking for, and we're always looking to collaborate in as many ways as possible. So if you have interest in participating in our next lives, let us know, and we can't wait to see you all again soon. So thank you for tuning in today.